Alright, so I'm going to try and go through this in a hopefully somewhat way that makes sense. I'm going to start off with the threading on the game side, or the interface to the gameplay programmer. So they have, all they know about is the sound engine and the sound calls. So in some gameplay user code here, they would create a sound call through the engine, stored in just some sound call pointer that they have, and then the sound call methods all look like they're doing something like playing, but they're actually just sending thread commands. So and the sound engine houses the creation of the audio thread as well, and the ring buffer. And when it gets into the main, it loads the stuff here. That's one of the things that's going to get changed next week. And then it just does this switch command thing. It's obviously still the switch and not that cool pattern yet, but it works. And let's see, the sound calls themselves have the thread communication within them. They just, they do what you would expect them to, and they have the handles baked onto them. Same thing as the last PA. It's just through that handle manager example that we had. And then the playlist system is more than just the trivial one sound or one wave, one file, one voice thing. And it uses the playlist descriptor approach, where you have a playlist manager. It gets used here. You initialize the playlist descriptor, which is just a bunch of commands used to initialize a playlist. And so it makes that playlist descriptor and attaches it to that ID. The script path doesn't matter right now. This whole thing is going to get changed when I have ASCII scripting. This is all just me hard coding it in the meantime, because it'll just be sequential. It's made in a way that it'll accept strings under the hood. It makes them into ints, but it makes the descriptor with that, and the descriptor has the ID that it was given, and it makes a factory that takes in this list of commands, and then the factory fires off that list of commands every time it makes a new playlist. And there's one factory for each playlist. And so then the playlist itself has its own list of commands, such as playing sounds, raising volumes, that sort of thing. And yeah, I think that's all the gunk. Now I can actually show you some demos. So in this test engine, I'm just going to start off with the example of just letting the playlist go and do the playlist has its own commands that are in the sound engine that were ostensibly written by some sound designer. In this case, it just, I can show you. In this case, it has the Seinfeld first section, the transition, the B section. It plays that. It ramps the volume. It does it on the second one, and then on the third clip, it does a little pitch dip, and it adds callbacks. So if I just play it and let it go. and that point when the ship got really big was an example of sending a callback from the sound engine back to the game. So the game programmer just says they submit their little command, and this command is a command that they wrote, and it just makes one of those goddamn frigates and makes it really big on the end of the sound. And so now, per the requirements, you can also change the attributes not via script. You can do it, the gameplay programmer can just do it on the fly. So in this example, it has these alarms that the alarms are just happen to be here. Just we're assuming that like the game engine has an alarm system, so I can illustrate this without hitting keys. So on the first alarm, it's going to pause the playlist. On the second alarm, it's going to play it again at half pitch, half volume, and panned all the way to the left speaker. And then on the third alarm, it's going to stop the sound. And all of this is not the sound engine, sound designer script, it's the gameplay programmer's stuff. Yep. A lot less interesting, but I wanted to make it fast. So it stopped. It was supposed to stop because it paused, and then, yeah. Just so you can, because I guess you can't hear the pause very well. Just so you know, it is resuming from the same point. Yeah. Cool, and then the very last thing, finally, is the priority system, which I have illustrated in the audio thread here. So it just makes crap ton of sounds here, and then sends them all to tracks with a priority of 100. The number of voices is just, it'll max out. So I'll walk it through here. Okay. So it does that. Here the error code is okay after all of this, so sending to all these tracks was okay, and now you want to send another version of this applause sound with priority of 200, and it will not work. It'll give you a no track error, and if you try to play it, it will tell you no track. Cool. That is it. Thanks.